So first thing we need to understand is that how we are going to produce voltage. And to understand that, we need to know the basic principle. So let's start with that. If you take a coil made up of conducting material, for example copper, and put it in a magnetic flux, and now you start varying that flux, which you can do by moving the magnets, you will notice that voltage is getting generated across the terminals of that coil. What are we doing here? We are simply putting one coil made up of copper in the magnetic flux. And now if the flux is varying or changing, then a voltage will be generated across this coil. You can either vary the flux or the coil itself, both the way it will generate voltage. Now the amount of voltage generated depends upon how fast you rotate the coil or the flux, and also the density of flux. For instance, if you rotate coil at let's say 10 rotation per minute, the voltage generated may be 10 volts, just for understanding purpose I'm saying. And if you rotate that same coil, let's say 20 rotation per minute, then maybe voltage generated will be 20 volts. So with the increase in speed, voltage generated will also increase. And based on this principle, we can actually generate voltage. This principle is known as Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction is not only helpful in understanding the principle of DC machines, but also useful for understanding transformers and AC motors. You can find the dedicated video on Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction on my YouTube channel. You can watch that for more information. So, to generate voltage, what major ingredients do we need? 1. We need a coil of conducting material such as copper and something to rotate that coil. It can be motor. Second, we will need something that can produce magnetic flux, for example, permanent magnet. That's it. You are now ready to produce the voltage. Now we know that to generate voltage we need two main things. One, we need a coil made up of conducting material, and second, we need something that will produce magnetic field like permanent magnet. So let's take these components to build a machine. First, we will take two permanent magnets as shown, and this thing will be stationary or non-moving. These permanent magnets will provide us the required magnetic field. If permanent magnets are not available, we can also use electromagnets, which will have some windings installed on it. Now these windings are called as field winding or field coils. We'll call it as field winding throughout the course to have consistency. For now, we will consider only permanent magnets. So here is our magnetic field system that's ready. Now let's get the coil. Here is one simple coil which is having terminal A and B. This coil or winding is called as armature winding. Now this coil or armature winding we will rotate inside our magnetic field system by using some external force, let's say a motor. And if you connect a voltmeter or multimeter across the coil, you will see that the voltage is getting generated when we start moving the coil. We also need a set of carbon brushes which will help us to collect the current from the machine, and then we can use that to give it to the external load. That's it, our basic generator is ready. Well, there is one more important component we need in DC generator. I'll tell you about that in coming video. If you are thinking the course name is DC generator, but now we are talking about generation of AC voltage, what's going on? Well, don't worry, we are talking about DC generator only. It may seem little irrelevant, but all the DC generators initially generates AC voltage only. Yes, that's true. The generated voltage becomes DC only after it has been rectified or converted to DC. So here is our generator. We have a coil which is rotating at speed, let's say 60 rotation per minute, inside the magnetic field generated by our permanent magnet N and S. Rotation of the coil is because of some external force, let's say motor. This coil is connected to two slip rings as shown. From there, we have taken the supply and given it to the load via the carbon brushes. As soon as we start rotating the coil, voltage will appear across the load. How this is happening, that we have already seen in the principal part. The voltage is generated because the coil is cutting the flux produced by our permanent magnet N and S. So when the coil is in the position shown, coil is cutting maximum number of flux. Definitely the voltage generated would also be maximum. Parallelly, let's also draw the waveform of voltage that will appear across the load. So when the coil is in the position shown, the voltage will be maximum. When the coil moves and gets into a vertical position as shown, coil is now cutting no or very minimum flux. So for sure, voltage generated will also be zero. Again, the coil will rotate and it will come in horizontal position. But this time, the polarity is also reversed. So the voltage will be maximum but in the opposite direction. You can see that on the waveform. Again, the coil will be in vertical position and voltage generated will become zero. And this cycle will repeat. The waveform generated is called as sine wave, which means AC. This is also the reason why AC supply is always represented by sine wave. The wave shape depends upon the shape of the magnet. If the shape is different, then the shape of waveform generated will also be different. We will consider our magnets are designed to produce sine wave. But this is not what we want. We want DC voltage. That's the purpose of our machine. The problem can be solved by adding a component called as commutator. So our generator is producing AC voltage, but that's not what we want. We want DC voltage. So to get DC, what we need to do? Look at waveform. We know that DC is a voltage which does not change the direction. But here the voltage is changing the direction. To get the DC, we need to stop the voltage from changing the polarity or direction. This can be achieved by using a component called as commutator. And this is the important component which I was talking in the previous video. Commutator is nothing but a combination of copper bars which is also called as segments. These copper bars are insulated from each other. We have replaced our slip rings with commutator. As you can see in the image, we have two segments of commutator. One is connected to end A of the coil and another is connected to end B. So what commutator is doing here is that it is keeping brush X as positive and brush Y as negative always. So after adding the commutator, this is how the wave shape looks. This is called as pulsating DC. Pulsating means the voltage is varying from maximum to zero. The voltage is pulsating but it never changes the polarity. And now officially we can call this machine as DC generator. And these are the waveforms. On the left hand side you can see waveform without commutator and on the right you can see waveform with commutator. To understand what commutator is doing here, consider this figure. As you can see in the image, coil end A is under N pole and coil end B is under S pole as of now. And we will consider A is positive and B is negative. You can also see the polarity of brushes at this particular position. Brush X is positive and brush Y is negative. But when the coil rotates by 180 degree clockwise, coil end A will move downward and go under the S pole, and coil end B will move upward and go under N pole. Which means coil end B is now positive and coil end A is now negative. But still the brush X is positive and brush Y is negative. Why? Because with the coil, commutator segments are also moving and hence brush X remains positive and brush Y remains negative. That means voltage is not changing the polarity and we will get a pulsating DC, which we saw few minutes back. So commutator is one of the important part of the machine which we need in case of DC generator. And this part also differentiates the AC generator and DC generator. AC generators will not have commutator. After adding the commutator, our voltage generated is looking like this. This is pulsating DC and of course it is not constant. But we need constant voltage because that is the specialty of DC. So for sure, we cannot live with this. We need to improve the wave shape. We can improve the wave shape by adding 4 armature coils instead of 1. So this is how our generator will now look. We have added 4 windings or coils. With this addition, our wave shape will look like this. And this is a very good improvement if we compare it with our last wave shape. This wave shape is not perfect, but it is very smooth as compared to the previous one. The voltage is still pulsating, but it never goes to zero, which you can also see in the waveform. We can say this is pretty close to steady DC voltage. By adding more coils or windings, we can get very smooth DC voltage. How this wave shape is getting improved, that we will see in few minutes. Now, we cannot simply put multiple windings inside the generator. We of course need something to put it on. So, we use a laminated iron cylinder for that purpose. This iron cylinder has slots on it in which we can put our windings. This laminated iron cylinder and winding put together is called as armature. And the windings are called as armature winding. This armature is rotating part of the machine. Example you can see on your screen. This is the front view of armature. Now the question is how the wave shape is improving by addition of windings. You will get answer to this question and many other confusing questions in the easiest course on DC generator, which is now available on the Electrical Guy mobile app. Download link is given below in the description. You can download the app and enroll for the course now. You will understand everything about DC generator in that single course. You will understand armature reaction, its effect, the process of commutation, which many think that it is difficult to understand. But it is not actually, it is very easy and very interesting. You can check out the course in the app, detailed content is given there. Not only this, you will also get PDF copy of what I'll be speaking in that course. So definitely it is a good choice and definitely go and check out that course in the Electrical Guy mobile app. That's all for this video guys. I'll see you in my next one. But till then, keep watching, keep learning.